It's the afternoon of June 24th, 1944, and Flight Lieutenant David Hornell pilots his Catalina flying boat. He's on an anti-submarine patrol over the rough Norwegian Seas. When over the intercom, the port gunner asks, "Hey, you are seeing what I see on the port side?" He checks to his left, and sure enough, in the distance, there is a distinct form of a U-boat floating in the sea. "I sure do." Hornell activates the action station's alarm, and the flying boat turns towards the enemy with 4 depth charges at the ready. Below, spotters in the German U-boat 1225 see the incoming aircraft and sound the alarm. A Lieutenant Sir C. Ernst Sauerberg doesn't waste a second. Turn a port. The submarine turns in evasive maneuvers as twin 20mm cannons. The single 37mm flag cannon are turned towards the Catalina. Fire! The Catalina is rocked by 37mm flag. The plane is already shuddering under hits on the fuselage. Cole, radio the base, keep them updated. Copy that. Hornell orders the radio operator, Sidney Cole, to tell the base their location and situation. But before Cole has a chance to send the first message, a flak shell punctures the radio compartment. Cole groans and puts pressure on his phone but doesn't report it. Instead, he pushes through the pane and keys the transmission. Little does he know that the radio equipment has been damaged by the German fire. Hornell dives towards the target, unaware that none of their transmissions are being sent. As they get closer, 20mm cannons join the fray and traces them all around. The impacts get ever more frequent, punching holes in the aircraft's thin skin. "It's getting rough, boys. Hold on." The crew feel a violent shake and are horrified to see pieces of the right wing being torn off. Flak burst by the right engine, and it starts shaking violently. Hornell fights with the aircraft as it starts to drift off course, the mounting damage making it even ever harder to steer. At the nose of the aircraft, the front gunner opens fire at the U-boat with his twin 303 Brown. Bullets rain round Sauber. The Catalina's fire zeroes in on the conning tower as they get closer. Sauber's men are stuck and the guns go silent. "You men, get on the guns or we are all dead." But the incoming fire is too accurate. The Germans can't move as the Catalina's machine guns rip into the conning tower. But then one of the Catalina's guns jams. The U-boat commander, hearing the strike slow, seizes the opportunity. "Man the guns now!" The crew jump into position and they open fire on the incoming Catalina. Hornell's blood runs cold as he sees once more a wall of tracers coming up at them. The Catalina is hit again with German fire ripping through the wings and fuselage. The glow comes from above, and the Hornell looks up to see damaged engine with flames gushing out of its cowling. Starboard engine on fire, shutting it down. The second pilot shuts off the engine, but it doesn't stop the fueling. The ball of fire rolls as the plane barrels towards the enemy submarine. Sauerberg is staring at a rapidly approaching ball of fire and orders evasive maneuvers. "Full to port." Above, Hornell is fully committed. Seeing the submarine turn left, he makes an adjustment at the last possible moment. and then he releases the depth charges. Below, Sorberg watches the Catalina roar overhead as it drops its payload. Good heavens, the depth charges splash perfectly around the submarine. It's a hit. The aircraft shakes even more violently. Hornell looks up at the flaming engine spinning in the wind. He sees it shake its own mounts apart. The rivets and bolts come undone. The fuel and parts of the engine rip away from the wing. Hornell knows they are not going to make it home. We are going down. Brace yourselves, men. The men all hold on except Cole, who frantically signals SOS messages as Hornell prepares to land. The sea below is rough, but they have no other choice. Hornell turns his Catalina into the wind and prepares for landing. The floats lower, and the remaining engine is brought to idle. The waves only appear to get bigger as the plane gets closer to the surface. Brace for impact. Cole keeps keying SOS until the last possible moment, and he stops and braces for impact. Hi, I'm David Webb, the narrator of this film and the head of Yarn Hub. If you think films like these are important and you would like to invest in Yarn Hub as a video producer and also with our move into gaming, you can now buy shares in our company. Please click the link in the description for the full details on how you can own a piece of our company and share in our future. The Catalina hits the first wave, but there are strong headwind. The force bounces the airplane and it surges 150 feet back up into the air. Hornell wrestles with the controls, and in a split second he aligns the Catalina for second impact. They slam into the next wave and the plane once again launches, reaching 50 feet before plunging back down towards the water. The still burning Catalina bursts through multiple waves before finally coming to a rest. Get out! Hornell urges on his men as he knows the Catalina can explode at any second. Flight engineer Donald Scott inflates a dinghy out of the left blister, while fellow engineer Fernand Laurent inflates one from the right. You all get on board, I'll push it. Hornell and some of the men jump into the freezing cold water, push the dinghy away. Cole bundles onto the dinghy and begs Stuart to secure the survival rations as the men start pushing. But then he remembers the radio. Wait, the radio. Hornell barely has time to understand what Cole has just said before Cole starts swimming back towards the Catalina. What are you doing? We need the radio. They won't find us. Don't, it's too late. Hornell is right. The men watch painfully as the Catalina is engulfed in flames and sinks under the waves. They begin helping one another onto the dinghy. The inside of the dinghy is already beginning to flood as the men try to board. Hornell uses a helmet